What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Man O War Corsair. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while. And I got our payday. I went back to M's Crank and got ourselves paid. It was a little bit ugly, though. We only got paid 500 gold crowns for it, so it wasn't the most amazing day for us. We've had better. We've definitely had better. Is that a treasure cache right there? Hold on. I think that's a something. We didn't find anything, Captain. Damn it. I was hoping. It's either that or a big serrated rock. Maybe I already looted that one already. In today's episode, we'll probably head out to the west and check out some new areas and see what we can accomplish there. We have been hot on the trail of a lot of the storyline stuff around here. I've been trying to do the storyline stuff at each port so that we can get a rough feel for how the world works. But it all feels bare bones at the moment. I think they're probably going to implement a lot more stuff in the near future as the game comes out and releases and all that kind of stuff. Still, we only got paid 500 gold crowns. It wasn't even enough to cover our repairs from fighting that big badass behemoth of a ship. And so, unfortunately, we are on our way back to Norden. I don't think I need to go to Norden to turn in the stockpile. And I'm hoping that we don't turn over the captain to... I don't think we will. I think it should be alright. So let's go back to Norden. We're going to make ourselves a little bit of money. Man, how could you stand... Like that platform up there that our sniper is standing on? That shit is so crazy. Like, how could you keep your balance? That would be super wild. Thank you, Captain. That's all the weapons we need. You receive 660 gold crowns. That's terrible, because those sell for like 600 apiece. What a ripoff. That's brutal. Like, no joke, that was totally not worth it. Like, look, they sell for 556 a pop. And so basically we just gave them 3 weapons for the price of 1. Okay, well, I guess we won't be doing any of those missions ever again. These people are cheap up in here. Ship escort and stockpiles. I'm staying away from stockpiles from now on. We are never doing those again. The Celestial Master Wizard Siegfried Abernstern was seen at Erengrad recently. I hear that they're looking for work. Yeah, you're going to be able to get wizards and stuff on your ships later on, too. They're going to be able to cast AoEs and do all kinds of crazy stuff. I was reading about it online. It seems like the game definitely has, like, a docket of cool stuff you're going to be able to do once it gets to its release version. You're going to be able to get, like, wizards that stand on top of your ship and, like, the crow's nest and, shoot fireballs and set people's sails on fire. All kinds of fun stuff. You got defensive mages and things of that nature. There's a pretty cool selection of stuff that could end up in this game if it ends up making it to its release. In today's episode, I think we're probably just going to sail for a little while. Just sailing on. Probably try to go to Deershaven, so we can do some of the cooler upgrades and get our guns kind of reinforced and make our ship kick a lot more ass without having to put too much money into it. For right now, the wind is favorable. Chilling at 39 knots. I'm definitely thinking about streamlining the hull. If that'll bump us up to 45 or 50, it would help us travel a lot quicker. I don't think we have the wind totally with us right now, but our travel day should be reasonably easy. It's a sprinkling day. We've got this soft weather. It's a nice day to be out at sea. I'd always considered going to sea, like legitimate, because I live in an area where there's like a longshoreman economy and ships are always coming in and going out, and we have like Fleet Week and stuff like that. And so anyways, I'd always consider going out to sea and seeing the world, but unfortunately, life happens. And so things just don't happen the way you plan out. I always thought it'd be interesting to be on one of those big giant shipping ships, though. One of the ones that has all the crates and containers on it, or whatever else, going all over the place, seeing stuff, going into harbors, dropping off goods, yams or potatoes, or I don't know, plastic hearts for Valentine's Day, or whatever it is that they ship on those ships. I assume that they ship just about everything on those ships. I should actually be plundering each of these ports as we go by for goods that I can take elsewhere. But I hadn't really thought about it. If we really wanted this trip to be interesting, we'd take her out to sea. That would be the smartest way to do it. And so if we roll her on out to sea here, wow, our entire deck was underwater right there. They may want to mess with that too. I don't know, it's a little immersion breaking. When your entire front of your ship goes underwater, it might be something they want to vary and move around a little bit so that it doesn't happen quite so frequently. So that the ship rocks a little bit better with the waves. A little bit of loot way the hell out there, but I don't think I want to go for it. I do wish that while you're on the map, you continue to sail so that you can kind of chart your course and decide where you wanted to go. I will probably just make for Deershaven, although this is a pretty long run for us right here. I think this is the furthest away from home that we've ever managed to go. And so I'm going to pull back in. I don't think this is going to be incredibly eventful. I will bring you back in if something interesting happens, or if we get to Deershaven without any sort of issue. The seas were fair. Nothing really happened along the way. I mean, we've got some pretty terrible weather going on right now. Not exactly. If you really think about it, these ancient ships, like these guys from back in like the Renaissance period and whatnot, these ships are kind of sketchy as hell. I don't know if I'd be down with it. I actually had the chance to go on a couple of the ships from Pirates of the Caribbean. They pulled into port at Benicia, which is where I live, and they had them all out there, and you could go on board. And really what you lose is in film, the ships look a lot bigger than they actually are. They do a thing where I guess historians, they sail around the world on these ships. Yeah, how do you get that job? That'd be super badass. You get to sail around on actual ships from like the 1800s and the 1700s and whatnot. Reproduction ships and like man them and have this experience that doesn't exist anymore. I thought that'd be a pretty cool way to live life. But I got to go over there and take a look at those ships. I was really kind of surprised by how tiny they were. I was like, oh my god, this thing is like a coffin that floats on the ocean. It would not be fun to be in this kind of weather. You'd find out real fast if you got sea legs or if you get seasick or anything like that. And the crazy part is you could die from seasickness during this time period. You could just throw up until you're so dehydrated that you die. Pretty brutal stuff. And the water back then was not, I mean, most of these ships, typically they had a lot of scurvy and things going on because they ate this stuff called hardtack, which is basically a flatbread that holds forever. It's a flat cracker bread. I made it in one of my classes one time. In one of my history classes, the teacher... Oh, we're into the wind. I'm sorry, the wind shifted on us. Like, what is going on right now? We are not moving. And just a second ago, we were flying on by. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Okay, we can't touch the sky. Nor would you want to, because Moorsleib and Mansleib are doing their thing up there. There's two moons in Warhammer Fantasy, Moorsleib and Mansleib. Moorsleib, I think, is the witch moon, which is the green one. And then there's a white one, too. There's a white one and a green one. And when the green one is closer, magic is more powerful. It's amplified and chaos is stronger. And when the other one is in, magic is weaker and it's harder to, like, channel stuff and do kind of magical finger wiggly things. We've actually got Deershaven right to the south of us right there. And actually looks like a pretty big port. I don't know if that's our port right there. I'm seeing something out there. Not a whole lot of ship contact along the way. I think I spotted the Wanderer and then the Wayfarer were the two ships along the way that I've had eye contact with. But aside from that, it's been a very, very slow journey. It is possible. We're next to sea monster territory right here, so it could be anything from a whale to an octopus to God knows when we go up in there. I guess Sigmar knows would be the proper propitiation to make. But it could be just about anything, so you got to be careful about it. Let's put in... I'm going to cut her kind of tight right here, and that should get us into Deershaven. We don't have any crew on board. I'm sorry, we don't have any cargo on board. Our cargo is definitely mediocre at the moment. I don't think we're going to make a lot of money, but what I am hoping is that when we pull into Dieters, we'll have some kind of new opportunity available that we'll be able to throw ourselves into and maybe make some new money, some new quests, some things to run down. Obviously, we've still got the treasure of New Emskrank, which we haven't gone out to isolate. Need more cordage, and not of wood. Not of wood. We've got plenty of that around here. My other question would be like, how do you keep yourself warm on a ship like this? Like, it feels like it would just be a freezing experience all around. Like, you'd just be cold all the time. Cold, unhappy, and upset all the time. I don't think there's anything like... It would be my assumption that you would want to keep flammable objects to a minimum on a ship like this. It's kind of like going into space. It's a hostile environment for all intents and purposes that we are not equipped for at this time period. And so you'd probably want to keep explosions, problems of that nature down to a minimum along the way. Let's pull in here. I think we've got the wind to make it happen. It looks like we've got some kind of giant tower ready to go. I think you say it Dieter anyways. It's Dietershafen or something like that. Not totally sure. Let's put in. I've never been here before, so this is a new experience for me. My assumption is that we'd probably be able to do all kinds of fun stuff over here. We got fire pumps, a rudimentary beam engine driving a pump for putting out fires mounted in the ship's bilges. Its hoses are capable of directioning volumes of seawater onto any fire which breaks out on the ship during the battle. That'd be pretty cool. We can also streamline the ship's hull. We can get additional port guns. We can mount additional cannon batteries. We can't go with long-range cannons or anything like that, so we don't have the long 9s or the heavies, the 12-pounders, the 16-pounders, but we do have some other stuff up in here like port guns and timbering and things of that nature. I don't know if there's any new guns here. It doesn't look like there are. Crew that's available. Nothing new. We could purchase new ships here, so we could get great ships. We could get... Ooh, we could get ourselves an Iron Fist if we really wanted to. It's an Imperial adaptation of the trusty war galley. It's got a giant cannon on the front. That right there, that's a cannon. You shoot it at your enemies and they go, damn, that's a big cannon. And so the Iron Fist don't venture out to sea as their principal role is the demolition of enemy coastal towns. Oh, okay, so they're bombardment ships. I would probably go the peculiar adaptation of the heavily successful war galley. The Hellhammer takes a sturdy, well-proven design, adds important modifications, and immense gun mounted on its main deck. Well, I mean, it's like a straighter, longer gun, but this is like the chode gun over here, whereas this is the gun that I would assume could fire further. I would probably try and get us in for a wolf ship at some time in the near future. We're a little bit broke right now, though, so we're going to have to figure out the market values and see if we can maybe ship some things out. So they've got coal over here, and it looks like it sells for 50 gold a pop. We've got weapons, which they've got a local production of. Unfortunately, they don't really have a surplus or anything like that. This looks like the location to be at if you're trying to move metals, though. If you're trying to move some metals, that might be it. They've got a lot of coal. So I'm going to take some on board until the price shifts on us. And so there it is. We got 50 tons or 50 whatever, 40 in our cargo hold of coal. It's probably not going to be that profitable, but it's something to move around. We bought them at 50. Maybe we go somewhere else and we sell them at, like, I don't know, 100. We might be able to double up on it. Notice board-wise, what do we have going on? We got ship hunts and escorts. We have the Acropolis, an accursed pirate great ship. We can't fight a great ship. I don't think I'd mess with it. Ship escort wants to go to Hagendorf. Yeah, sure. I don't know where Hagendorf is at, but we'll take it. Does this one go to Hagendorf as well? That one's going to Hagendorf as well. So we've got 2 ships that we're going to be escorting to Hagendorf. That should give us something to work on over the next day or two. There's our little amigos right there. It looks like they are putting out to sea right now. It's probably a smart idea because we really do not have a ton of wind going in our favor at the moment. Hagendorf is right around the way, and so what we'll do is we're going to cut pretty hard this way. And we'll probably just take it out to here and then cut in, assuming we don't have a wind shift anytime soon. And so all that's left to do is wait it on out. There's probably some things out there that we can explore or have a look at. I probably want to keep a sharp eye out, though, just in case for things like that. Exactly. Let's go out, and I'm actually going to cut this one off. I'm going to be a little bit of a tackler here. I'm going to go out, and I'm just going to give these guys a face hug real fast to make sure that they don't go after my little amigos on the side. Because my little amigos, they are going. Our amigos, this is kind of a we-go, I guess. He's got a giant, look at the size of that chode mode cannon right there. Holy shit. When you really know you want it dead, bring that thing right there. You would assume that would, like, split the ship in half when it fires. That thing is enormous. That's like a crazily large gun. We've got the Cave Bear, which is a pirate ship, and it's got nothing inside of its hold. However, it... Oh, actually, I thought that it was dealing with something else right now, but let me go ahead and give her a volley. This may not make us popular with Kislev, because I believe they are actually in the throes of shippy lovemaking right now. Yeah, they are. Let's fire to the front if possible. I would definitely prefer to sink that thing. Put a little bit of loving on the Kislevite ship. We may not even need to fight this out right now. I mean, it looks like the winds have changed on us, which means we may be able to go back into port without too many problems. That ship looks like it has like a giant hammer on the front of it or something right there. I don't know. There's something lodged up inside of its sail, and I don't know what it is. Damn, is that ship on fire. There it is. And so we've scuttled her. Oh, the Widow. It looks like she's firing on us right now. She's firing on our escorts. So I may have to take her out. She may have to go. I made her go hostile on accident. It can be sort of hard to line these things up. It is what it is. Perfecto, my fame has increased. I've murdered some dudes. They were trying to shoot my ship, so I figured I'd go right back at them. I was going to let her go, but they go hostile when you accidentally shoot them, when you're trying to... It's very difficult, I'll put it like this. It's very difficult to save ships in this game from pirates that are attacking them, because they tend to board very quickly. They tend to go straight to boarding as fast as possible, and they just fight it out that way. Versus... So when you go up in there and you start taking shots at them, the unfortunate side effect is that you'll nick the other ship that you're trying to rescue with like one cannonball shot, and then they go super hostile. And so in general, I would avoid shooting at things that are engaged in melee combat unless they're both hostile to you. Like pirate ships can fight with orc ships the exact same way that orc ships can fight with chaos ships or whatever else. But for right now, it seems like I may want to keep my reputation with Kislev on the up and up. I mean, our infamy has gotten kind of nasty, and Kislev is not so happy with us right now. The Empire's pretty stoked. The Wastelands seem alright. Marienburg seems alright. Britannia seems to like us, so that's fine. Miragliano, I don't know. High Elves seem to be semi-okay with us. Dwarves. Pirates, probably not big fans. Tzeentch, more than likely not big fans, simply by nature of the fact that we're a part of the Empire. And being a Tzeentch pirate, or being a Tzeentch follower, is generally not considered. Tzeentch is a god of chaos. The god of actual chaos, if you were wondering about it. The gods you got to worry about, you got Khorne, which is the god of violence, murder, destruction. You've got Slanesh, which is the god of debauched sex and just kind of all sorts of random nastiness. There's, who else do we have? We have Nurgle, god of disease, decay, and all that kind of stuff. And then on top of that, you've got yourself Tzeentch, who we already talked about. And those are the guys. The Fire Drake has made it to Hagendorf, Captain. Good. Excellent to know. And then one of these guys should put in fairly shortly as well. So what's out here to the west? Is there anything we really need to worry about? There's some ships over there. Looks like Wrecker's Point is the kind of place you probably want to be careful about. Is Kislev even, like, implemented yet? I'm kind of wondering if there's even a way for you to work on your Kislevite reputation if you kind of knocked it down a little bit. Doesn't look like it, I don't think. So this over here is all going to be Bretonnian. And they seem to be okay with us. Marienburg is a really, really, really big city, by the way. Marienburg is kind of a big deal as far as Warhammer Fantasy goes. Marienburg is one of those cities that you're inevitably going to end up in any like RPG experience if you're playing in the Empire. The Black Fire's made it to Hagendorf. Let's get ourselves paid then. Thank you for the protection, Captain. Here's your pay. We got 500 gold crowns. 500 gold crowns. Nice little payday. It's not a lot, but it's something. They've got coal here, and they're willing to pay 97 for it. We're able to double up on our costs, and so I feel like that's okay. We'll probably hold on to the rest of it. You don't want to unload too much while you're here, because then you won't be getting a good price for it. But we got a decent price on the front half of it. They've got a local demand for sugar and a local demand for tin. Their production on textiles seems to be okay. I'll buy those. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's buy out what they got for textiles. I think we'll be able to move those in another location for maybe 300, 400. Turn a nice little profit. We've got weaponry over here that we can sell, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those for a decent price. I don't think we've taken any damage, but I am going to check for anything while we're in here. Indeed, we have no repairs ready to run. Let's go back to the notice board and see what we've got. The Fog of War. We've got courier service, and we've got a ship escort. So the Fog of War. Well met, Captain. My name is Adeline Alder. I do a fair amount of trade with nearby ports, and lately, however, our ships have been disappearing off the coast to the east. There's an unnatural amount of fog where the ships are disappearing. My theory is that there's a wizard at the heart of it. People are afraid to travel, and that's no good for my business. If you make sure the way is safe again, I'll make it worth your while. Excellent. As I said, the fog is nearby. You should not be able to miss it. Please ensure that the way is safe, and return for your coin. That's probably some kind of dirty chaos trick. We're probably going to get jumped over there, but... Courier service. Deershaven requires the ministrations of a witch hunter. Rumor has it that a vile chaos cult is hiding somewhere on their coastlines. Ensure I arrive safely, and I will compensate your expenses and your time. Witch hunters, so badass. Witch hunters, basically, their job is to go into a town whenever there's the rumor of chaos. And they tend to be in places like Marienburg, Altdorf, the bigger cities. Essentially, they tend to have like these havens of witch hunters who work on behalf of the Inquisition. And they go out and they hunt monsters. They hunt, I mean, they're very, very, it's fertile ground for storytelling. Witch hunters tend to have very, very interesting adventures. They also tend to have very, very short shelf lives. So don't expect their life expectancy to be much. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. Whatever. Might be worth it to put in for a few extra refits, though. While we're here. You're going for a streamlined hull, and I would feel okay with that. That'll also help out with the travel times. And so that's a little bit of a selfish upgrade right there because I'm doing a YouTube series, and I'd like to be a little bit faster. The places we're looking for. One is directly into the wind. So unfortunately, we will just have to live with that. And then the fog of war is going to be off that way. Since we have the wind in this direction... Yeah, we'll deliver the Witch Hunter once we got more time. The Witch Hunter wants us to take him to Deershaven, but not going to stress about it for right now. Instead, let's make for this fog over here. I'm kind of interested in seeing what's going to happen. Every time we go into port, it saves, so it's not that big of a deal if we die and get murdered by something horrible. Oh, well, that's part of the fun of being in the Warhammer universe is that the heroes are definitely not immortal. Like, everybody in this world is subject to being killed. Even the most powerful chosens of, like, gods and things like that. Gods will betray them and sell them down the river if they think it'll advance their cause a little bit better. Let's see what we've got.
Clean the barking irons.
Our irons are apparently barking. We have a little bit of something right here. We didn't find anything, Captain. Well, let's try and go around from this direction then. Alright, hoist that very carefully.
Sort out this ramshackle.
Go along this side and see if the search goes better. We didn't find anything. Okay, well that's cool. I just figured it was worth a look since we got ourselves a beached ship over on this side. Winds are looking pretty good. We've got something coming up on our right. We've got orc ships at war. Let's go ahead and pick the bones of that conflict. I think it's a smart idea. Orcs tend to, if you don't know, orcs will fight with each other if they got nobody else to fight with. Like, orcs are not fans of each other any more than they are, like, you know, enemies of any other faction on the map. I'm gonna pick up that treasure on the way by. I may try to hazard a shot at him. Ah, there it is. That was actually a hit. I'm surprised. Got 2 sugar. A little bit of that sucre. Make us some money. I've seen it in demand in a number of places, so we might be able to use it. We actually travel into the yellow now about as fast as we did in the green previously. Do we have someone else coming up on us? Oh, it's just him. He's actually about face and he wants to fight with us now. Luckily, he's a ram ship, so he should be pretty easy to kill. He's got 3 cargo on board. Be more lucrative for us to fight him. We might have to risk a ram for that to happen. Oh, and there it is. The boarding has occurred. 10 crew on board this one. The orcs should be jumping over very, very soon to get shot and lit into. Ooh, we got a couple of little goblins up in here too. I'm just going to fire into the line where they come over. Should allow us to stay reasonably safe. That orc's got a bow. He fancies being a little bit different than all of his comrades who really just want to sink me chopper. They don't like the Humies much. You Humies, we's coming for your puny little ship. That's how they like to... Oh, it's wine. Good. Yeah, I'll take that. I'm a fan of the liquor. So far, it's just been orcs in the area. We've got something nasty coming up behind us, and it's a Kislevite ship. So I think that for now, I personally will probably leave that one. I'm not going to fight with it. It is making a beeline for us right now. We need to go west, and unfortunately, we've got a very, very easterly wind rocking us at the moment, so we might not be able to do much with it. Still, with some of the new fittings that we've got on our ship, we should be able to outrun most of the mobs that want to come after us. And indeed, they are falling backwards right now on our map. So instead, I'm going to go after that treasure right there that appears to have been dropped off probably the leftovers of the orc raid while we wait for the wind to be a little bit more favorable. If we go down in there, I don't want to be facing into the wind when we go up against whatever it is that's going to be trying to kill us. In the meantime, while I wait for that wind to shift, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here for the next episode of Man O War. I will see you all in future episodes. Bye, everybody.